Alright guys, I had a rough morning this morning. I didn't get anything done. First thing I did was I got up and I went and made my kids their lunch for school, because I'm never prepared. I don't do it the night before. The second thing I did was I went back to bed. When I woke up again, the first thing I did was check emails, notifications, and just try to catch up a little bit for the day. Not too overwhelming stuff though. I did check out my WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp groups that helps us stay organized as far as our companies are concerned. We have group chats for any new projects we're working on, like new products, like new shows we plan on attending, or any companies that you guys don't know about that we're working on. It's just a great way to make it easy to communicate with one another and stay on topic, and also be able to search and look back for things we might have forgot. There's times where I have some type of action or some type of project that I need to get done, and I totally forget about it. And then when I search on WhatsApp, something like Tomb 45 no drip, I'll be able to see any conversation associated with that. So WhatsApp is a game changer when it comes to that. There's other group chats. I think we've had GroupMe before. We've tried other ones. But I can't stress this enough. If you're going to open a barbershop, if you're going to do anything that has to do with businesses, man, communication is so important. So this morning, again, I just caught up, spent some time with my wife, believe it or not, and then got rushed and got ready, and now I'm on my way to work with like 10 minutes to spare before my first appointment. And today I only work till 3 o'clock. I blocked off after that. And then I'm pretty much away from the barbershop Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe back at it Wednesday, not sure. But then we go to China. So that's kind of like on the agenda right now. But later on, one of the things I want to cover, we had a conversation in the shop about how businesses work, how corporations work, and I'll break that down because it can get a little, you know, people can get offended by this conversation. It has to do a little bit with politics. So stay tuned. Later on, we'll talk about that. I'm driving right now, so we'll talk about it later.
There is the, should the high school player be allowed to go to... Think about that. I respect it. I love it. That's the hardest thing. There's no guarantee that in a playoff game, I don't really want him. Like, and I'll say that. Ask you this. Let me ask you this. And have you come across...
Hanging out with a friend. That's more your age.
Hey, Michael.
Just kid things. They were just doing kid things. Kind soul. Believed that he was just that.
Documentary coming out, bro. Okay?
Nothing is true.
It's not true. You don't believe it?
No.
We're gonna see. I'm gonna be watching it here with some popcorn. We're gonna block the day for that.
He and I would go to jail for the rest of our lives.
Oh, that's one of the victims.
Eat you up. You feel so alone.
Speak the truth.
They're doing them like R. Kelly. What? Did you hear that? There are players in the league that don't know how to play basketball. That's a big statement to make, man. It's the league, bro. Everybody can play basketball in the league. So here at the shop, we do 30-minute appointments. People ask me all the time, how do you do 30-minute haircuts? You mean you do ball fades with scissors on top? Yes. A lot of times when you have the same clients coming to you over and over and over again, like a lot of it is just maintenance work. So it gets pretty easy to do 30-minute appointments, and everybody at our shops do. We have like 65 barbers, and they all do 30-minute appointments. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you fall behind, and then sometimes you make up for that time with a easier haircut. But this is just an example, man. You just gotta have a system. So did a ball fade here. He wanted the C cup prominent. Did some scissor work on top and texturized it real quick. And yeah, 30-minute appointments. Keep in mind, this is with consultation, this is with camera setup, because I had to time lapse it, and this is with everything's done. Now, the haircut's done for the most part, but I'm OCD, so I like to spend like 5 to 10 minutes detailing. This is where we detail. Alright guys, so I think it's time for caffeine talk. So I told you guys earlier about the discussion that was brought up into the shop, and it started with political talk, right? I'm okay with talking politics in the shop as long as everybody's cool about it, right? There's some people who can't do it, and that's when you gotta completely just turn it off and not talk about it no more. But in this case, it was a pretty cool conversation with a teacher, and hates Trump, obviously, and talking about how all these corporate tax breaks, you know, they benefit the rich and they don't benefit the poor. And his reason for it is because he said that the employees don't ever see a pay raise. So the whole thing about, you know, government incentives helping corporations trickle down and help the economy. His argument that it doesn't is that employees don't ever see a pay raise. And as a teacher, he hasn't seen one in forever. So I just started talking about business pretty much, because I don't really know, like, I follow politics, but I'm not in that game. But I could talk business. So I thought about what he was saying, and I ended up, you know, getting into discussion. So what I said to him, I used the whole Amazon thing as, or even the barbershop as an example. So one of the things that he said was, you know, Amazon doesn't pay any taxes. And so what I said to him, I said, look, as a business, a lot of businesses, they look at their spendings, they look at their profits, they look at their net profits, and that means your revenues minus expenses. And whatever is left over, the government taxes you on. So what a person will do, they'll sit down and they'll say, hey, is it better for my business to pay more taxes, or is it better for me to take some of those profits and reinvest it in my company, in which a lot of that will be a write-off, and I won't pay, I'd rather pay my company. That doesn't mean everyone gets a pay raise. That might mean more research and development. That might mean new barber chairs. That might mean more advertising, more marketing, or another location. So there's a few things that happens there. It doesn't mean that my current employees get a pay raise. It probably will help with stability. So, because if I keep marketing, I keep bringing in more customers, I'm less likely to go out of business. But not just that, I might take that money, instead of paying taxes, I might take that money and open another barbershop, in which I'm helping the economy because I'm creating more jobs by doing this. And then there's the fact that if I have two barbershops and they're both busy, guess what? The businesses in the same plaza around me, they get a little bit of love too, because there's some trickle effect, there's some spillover, and businesses actually, and why do you think that we open barbershops next to LA Fitness? Because we know if we're next to LA Fitness, that drives foot traffic. I think that a lot of people assume that it doesn't help the economy, but there's a lot of things besides an employee getting a pay raise that fits in that mold, right? That helps the economy. I asked him, I said, who pays you? Are you teaching at a private school, or are you a public school teacher? Doesn't the government pay you? He said, yes. I said, so you want companies to pay more taxes, which means companies give the government more money, and that's the same exact government that hasn't given you a pay raise in forever. So people's solution to this problem of income equality is the wrong solution. It's not pay more taxes, because we all kind of know what happens with that money. And then, you know, his argument was like, yeah, but that only helps businesses. You know, like, not everybody can be a businessman or wants to be a businessman. I said, that's cool, but at least you know the rules to the game. It's not like these incentives aren't available to everyone. It's available to everyone. People who come from nothing open businesses all the time. Some people rather open a business. Some people rather have the stability of a job and a W-2 and benefits. There's obviously pros and cons to both. When you go to open a business, it's a risk, and you don't have those incentives like a job does. But when you have a job, then you don't have some of the incentives that a successful business will. And if you do want those incentives, then it's available to you. You got to make some kind of compromise. And the real problem to me in that conversation, it wasn't whether this is available to this guy or he can't. What if he doesn't want to be a business owner and wants to be an employee? The real problem is people are not educated about their taxes. I was that guy. I remember when I sold my first house, I thought I was going to have to pay a capital gains tax on it. Little did I know, later on I find out, as long as I lived in the house for 2 years out of the last 5, that capital gains is tax-free. Let me explain. So if you you sell your house and you have $100,000 in equity, you made a $100,000 profit. Now, I'm not a tax accountant, so I got to give that disclaimer. You definitely should check with a CPA, but by going to irs.gov, you can find a lot of this information. That 100 grand, you might pay up to 20% of that to the government just because you sold your house. You might owe a $20,000 bill to the government just because you sold your house. But rich people who are informed, or any person who's informed, you can go right now to irs.gov. You can Google this. Then you know, as long as you sell that house before that 5-year mark, it'll be tax-free. And so I remember having conversations with families, seeing people buy houses every few years, and think, I don't know why these guys are always buying brand new houses all the time. Why can't you just stick to one? Why can't you don't need any of that. That's like, why do you need a new house every 5 years? And it's because I didn't know. I wasn't financially literate and understand that they're just moving because they don't want to pay a crazy tax bill. It's actually the smart thing to do. When you know the rules to the game, like you know the rules to Monopoly, you have a better chance of winning at that game. And so guys, if anything from this vlog, I encourage you guys to learn. When you go to your CPA, ask questions, get advice from them, and then do that with every aspect of your life. And I'm telling you, you'll be in a better position to win. And again, it's not to get into too much politics. I know there's probably going to be some comments that don't like what I'm saying, but all I can do is look at it from a business's perspective. And if you can respect that, in my opinion, as a business person, then we can have a real discussion. If you're somebody, for example, who's a teacher like this gentleman, and we could have a real conversation. And we did. It was awesome. Had a real good conversation. Nobody was mad at each other. And you know, if I felt like anybody was getting upset, then I would have stopped the conversation right away. Wait. Before we end this vlog, I want to show you guys something. If you have cop foundations and you took the course, you guys know what this is, right? Shout out to our barber, Josie. Humble, hardworking, first one in, last one to leave. She'll be booked real soon, I promise. That's a proud moment for me, I ain't gonna lie. Proud moment for me, look. That's so dope. And look who's taking his turn. Where you going, bro?
I'm gonna go hold a sign up, representing.
There you go. Culture, bro, culture. So anyways, that's it for this vlog, guys. Appreciate y'all sticking around so long, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the vlogs. If you have, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash the like button and you comment below if you have any thoughts that you want to add to this conversation, to today's caffeine talk. And in the vlog, why I drive this, a lot of you guys gave me permission to put ads, so I just want to show you guys foundations. Well, not show you guys, tell you guys about it. If you're in barber school, or you were in barber school, or you're in the barbershop and you just feel like something is missing, Cop Foundations. See ya, guys. Nate, don't worry about the cilantro. Just focus on taking care of your client, please. Thank you. Don't let that happen again. No problem. That's what it's about, man. Micromanagement, guys. Keys to a successful barbershop. Micromanagement. You think he just gonna show me that?